Okay, so let's get this started. My name is David Cheney, and I will be recording my voice as I do an evaluation of a website. This is for Walden University. The site I have chosen to work on is the Help Save the Endangered Pacific Northwest Tree Octopus site. So going to the site, which would be zapote.net/treeoctopus, you are immediately met with a plethora of text as well as some photos and looks like even a few maps. Now, off the top of my head, the site does not look factual to me. The pictures look photoshopped. I mean, it's a picture of an octopus. It looks like a deep water octopus sitting in the middle of a pine tree. And, well, let's be honest. Who's ever heard of a tree octopus? Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is take a page out of Dr. Warlick's book of How to Evaluate a Website, and I'm going to do a URL backtrack. So, by doing this, I'm going to basically put my cursor into the web cursor menu and delete up until the first of the hash slashes, which leads me to zapote.net. When you pull up the parent site for this webpage, it states, Zapote Productions Interdimensional, your source for conspiracies and other diversions, serving the paranoid since 1997. So obviously this is going to send up some red flags right away. So, the site is filled with, looks like a number of conspiracy theories, including the Sasquatch and some werewolves and yetis. So let's go back to the original site of the Pacific Northwest Tree Octopus. And now we're going to take a quick look to see if we can find any of the ABCs presented by Beth Phillips in this week's media segment. So, scrolling down, we're passing over a number of links and some pictures. And it looks like we do have an author, who is Lyle Zapoto, who, according to the parent page, is the author for the vast majority of these websites. It also states that this site is not associated with any school or educational organization, which is going to send up a second red flyer for me today in evaluating this website. Alright, so in continuing my evaluation of this website, we are going to move off of the homepage and click on the facts link. So facts standing for frequently asked questions. And let's scroll down through here to see what we can find. So, first of the questions is, why are Sasquatch allowed to gather tree octopuses if the octopuses are endangered? So, I think we all know that Sasquatches are most likely a conspiracy, and there is no given proof for that. So there's a flyer right there. And another question of, can I have a pet tree octopus? What percentage of profit from tree octopus products sold on the site goes to protecting the species? None. So right there is going to give me another flyer. So nothing sold on the site goes towards the protection of the so-called tree octopus. We also have another question about why teachers are trying to convince you that tree octopuses are not real. And the answer is that the book publishing industry consumes so many trees that they don't want people to realize they are destroying a natural habitat for the octopus. Great. So, let's continue the evaluation by moving on to the Sightings tab, in which case we have a number of pictures. Well, it looks like we have some birds carrying away squids. We have a picture of a tree with, it looks like, could be an octopus or a crab holding a dollar bill. A number of snow things, and it looks like maybe some outdoor ornaments. Some things that obviously look very, very fake and photoshopped. In fact, we have one octopus that is pink, blue, purple, and has dark red eyes that are actually rather creepy. We have one that is a bright blue and looks like fuzzy. So, yes. Scrolling through these things, we are still not finding any of the ABCs aside from the author, so there's no editor or publisher to verify our information. So continuing with looking at the site, we also see some ideas of how to create tree octopus houses, as well as a media tab which lists a significant amount of science fiction and fictional texts for you to read. Alright, so based on the parent page, so the page is also lacking a known publisher and and an editor, so there's no way to tell if the information is real, as well as the fact that a lot of the information looks faked and comes from a conspiracy site. I'm going to go ahead and say that this website is not factual, and therefore cannot recommend it for anyone to use it for, say, a research paper or as a factual resource for any reason. So, in reflection, I knew when I first looked into the site that it was not factual and therefore not something I would use if I was doing something for school. But as a teacher, I think it was important to go through the steps of evaluating this site for the kids that I'm going to be teaching and teaching them the skills that they need. Teaching them how to do a URL backtrack, or just for looking at the basic ABCs of a site to see if it is factual. These skills and just walking through it, telling them how to look and analyze what they're looking at, the links, the pictures, the facts, if there's an author, a publisher, an editor, or if its parent page is something that you can rely on. If it was a government page or a link to a school, it might be something that would be more factual despite the content on the page. However, after looking at it, doing the evaluation, looking at the resources therein, it's very apparent that this is not a factual page. And these are skills that my students will need to know and learn. If I had been one of my students and didn't know the skills to look and evaluate this page, I might have thought it was real, despite the fact that it looks pretty fake. So this is the end of my audio recording of evaluating a website page. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, this is David Cheney, and this is a project for Walden University.